I'm live. We're live.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome everyone.
Hello.
So we're just gonna figure this out. It won't let
Yep.
me like copy the
So
link ahead of time.
the technical issue number one
Yeah.
is your tweet went live, but
Did
there's
it?
no link to the YouTube video.
Dang it! What is going on?
Let me check on YouTube.
Okay.
Technical
Yeah.
play. Oh
So
yeah, we are. So there is a YouTube
perfect.
video. We are there.
Um, can you send that out to the peoples and I'll just do an introduction of the show?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm just checking to see if it's. So I'm watching us on playback,
Uh-huh.
but I don't know if there's any sound. I can't hear any coming through
There
the
should be.
headphones, but that might just be
And I
my
noticed you were a
settings.
little louder than me last time, so I've turned you down a little bit. But
Yes, you were. I was definitely louder than you.
so I turned you down like maybe 15%. So
Yep.
yeah, once we get someone in here, we can
Okay.
we can test that out. But welcome everyone. So we did the prequel, but this is our first time actually going live. It's going to be an interesting sort of trial. It's like another trial run part two. But this is the first episode, calling it the Age of Sigmar. R&D stands for research and development, but it also happens to stand for Robin Dale. Um,
That's a good one. Yeah.
yeah,
Is
Eric
that the
came
one
up
that
with
someone
that.
suggested?
Yeah,
Eric did it.
Eric did. I was just like, man, that's gold. So yeah, so we've got some stuff planned for the show. We're gonna go over the preview, the Age of Sigmar related preview, I should say, and we'll go over some tournament winnings and just kind of have a fun chat that you're welcome to paint along to.
Yeah, the
Um,
tournament winning ones we just thought we would add in because I know a lot of shows kind of review them, but this one is kind of in our Pacific Northwest region.
yep,
So it'll be good to kind of like look at that one just because it's technically our meta.
it's a really strong region. Like there's some
Yeah, we have
heavy
Jeremy
hitters.
Vashvara. I'm not sure his surname.
Yep,
We have Matt Beasley
Matt
again, and we
Beasley.
have the
Well,
Corsairs. They're quite a good group that's seems to be doing quite well in the rankings for last season because we're now on to the new season
yep,
technically.
yep. I
So
don't remember
yeah,
what it's called. It should be called Seasoned Galatian Veterans because it's all about the Galatian veterans. But
season Gelato Ice Cream Mo.
yep, the best a cone can get.
I'm hearing like so many different things people are calling in Galatian Gallivets, and Gallivets seems to be one that's kind of sticking a little bit,
That
but
that's
there's like
very jolly. It's very British.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So
So first up, why don't we'll go with the rumor engine.
yep.
I think it's Age of Sigmar.
Oh yeah, this is the lovely. Have you got it up on the screen now
I
for
do.
the
I've got
show?
it up. Yep.
Okay, perfect. Yeah,
Yeah,
see,
I
he's
do.
got it up for us. Yeah, it is. I've heard some people say it's like very Seraphon. I've heard some people be like, "Oh, it's gonna be Malarian." That
So
symbol on the side of it looks very Zinch.
yes. So my
Like the
first thoughts were actually a lot of what you were mentioning. I haven't heard what anyone talked about. I did think like the front of it kind of reminded me a little bit of Seraphon.
yeah.
It's got like that sun kind of Aztec-y sort of feel to it. But if you look down and to the right on that sort of portion of it, I I'm not sure about this. Well, actually, first of all, it looks like an eye of chaos on the top right of that sort of square. Um, and I feel like, and I could be wrong here, but I could have sworn I saw the symbol, like the horn symbol, that looks like the Grey Seer symbol, kind of.
It's gonna be Lumina from Board's Book 5 with
Oh,
Tyrion and the Sun group of the Lumina.
that would be
Because so
cool.
far we've had water, we've had
Mountain.
air, and we've had mountain. So
Oh,
technically we haven't had sun.
wait. So the first one was the mountain one. Are
Yeah,
they
so
are
you've
they air
got
though?
Araleth on the mountain.
Okay, but is that air? Is it?
No, air is the foxes, the hurricane
Oh,
mage, the kangaroos. They're
and
all air.
and who's water?
The Cafola.
Oh, okay. I
The
don't.
Sonari Cafola is technically water. Because, I mean, the Wardens, the Dawn Riders, and the Sentinels are kind of like
Everything.
generic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you have the others that are kind of more specific. So at some point, if we get Tyrion or we get like the Light and the Fire group or something, the more
Yeah.
kind of because this side of it, if you look at I don't know if you looked at the Lumineth Realm Lord book,
No.
but the kind of Lumineth Realm Lord realm is kind of split. You kind of got like this is Teclis' side, and this is all about magic and blah blah blah, while the other one's like the more militaristic side.
Yeah.
Um, so does that mean potentially Tyrion in the next year? No.
They do look
Does
like that stone does look like an Elven Waystone though from Fantasy.
Yeah, and we do know that we are getting another Lumineth Realm book, Lord's book this year.
Yes, we do.
And we're also getting the Enlightened because in the General's Handbook
Okay.
there is the hero, the named hero that is in it. It's like there's something Enlightened,
Okay.
but it's not a released model yet.
Huh.
So
I mean-
potentially that could be something to do with that base. We've already seen a picture of that model though, so it can't be.
The Lumineth Realm Lords are their books. The reason I don't look at them or buy them or play them is because their books are like those magazines that you get like every couple of months in the mail, and they're really thick.
Yeah.
Only instead of being free, they cost like $60. So that's my main reason for not buying them or getting into them. I am interested in like what they're gonna do, but
my total theory was it was going to be the model for the Enlightened, but we've already seen it. It was released like 2 weeks ago or something.
Oh, okay.
So it's not going to be the Enlightened. The box set's not out yet, but like they did the preview box. It's like I think it's Zinch and
the wizard,
yeah.
right?
So it's
Actually,
not,
that doesn't narrow it down at all, does it?
No,
the wizard.
So
they're all wizards.
Yeah. So if technically if that's a new model that would because usually like the rumor engines are usually like 2 to 3 months out from when the model comes out.
Yeah.
Because there was the big one recently where everyone was like, "Oh, it's a malaria." Well, good job. Everyone was like going, "Oh, it's a Malarian arm." It was like an arm with some little tags or something,
Yeah.
and it ended up being like a crew bracer from a kill team thing or something, which was hilarious because everyone was so sure it was going to be Shadow Elves. So yeah, this is something that is going to be 2 to 3 months out. So technically, it's going to be after Zinch and Lumineth Realm Lords, because realistically, we'll probably start seeing them closer to the end of the month, the box set being released, and then we're looking at probably August army books coming out. Because also, you've still got to get those 2 destruction books out in the next couple of months.
That's true. Jason was saying that his first thought was Lumineth or Cities because with the fire motif. But yeah, Jason.
A stranger from the outside. Hello.
Jason is communicating from the Chaos Wastes because that's where he lives now. But he was saying those are definitely Chaos Ruins on the right. That's what they look very chaosy. Like the eye one, as I was saying, in the top right. I'm sorry, I didn't notice that we had people in the chat.
I'm gonna keep that up now.
I was gonna like type, but now it's saying you can't type. You have to sign in. I'm like, I have to be signed in. I'm streaming to the YouTube channel, but whatever. It's a cool one though, and it seems like it is actually Age of Sigmar, which is exciting. The last week's one also seemed very Age of Sigmar-y to me, but yeah. But no, it looks cool. I think, yeah. I mean, the other thought too is if those are definitely Slaves to Darkness, if they're Chaos Ruins, and I have every reason to believe they are because Jason's definitely the expert on that. Then
is he a disciple of Zinch? Does he have the inside scoop? Is this something we don't know?
If he's a disciple of anyone, it is definitely Nurgle. His actually has the mark of Nurgle in real life. Jason.
I mean, Nurgle is probably the most fun of the Chaos Gods if you look at all the lore and the fluff. So.
And and I think his followers have the most fun too.
Yeah.
But I'm a Zeech guy myself. I've always liked everything about it.
I mean, realistically, we just had a Underworlds and Warcry preview.
Yeah.
So we're
Which we
probably
will go
not due another Underworld's box for another 3 months. Because they're usually kind of like every 3 or 4 months for Underworlds. Warcry is every few months as well.
That's true,
So,
but don't forget we know the Slaves to Darkness book, etc.
and
are
we
getting
know
a
that,
major
yeah.
release in December.
But we've also pretty much seen, unless they have something sneaky that didn't get leaked, we've pretty much seen all the stuff that's coming out. Because there's all the models and the demon and everything. So it's very much like this doesn't look like something that would be in Suns, Ogres, or Gits, because they're the ones that are potentially coming for the destruction. So could this be something we're looking at for the new year? I mean, we are in mid-July.
Yeah. So thank you, Lord Chesto. We were actually. You said no audio, so I don't know if you can hear me or not. But yeah, Zeech was one of my first call outs, or I think yours too. I can't remember now. But anyway, yeah.
Does it mean we have no audio or he has no audio?
I don't know. I'm assuming.
I think it must be because like other people can't hear me. Us, I'm sure.
I hope so. Can someone confirm whether we are in fact live and can be heard, or if it's just like we're gonna have to like flash, what do you call it, like screens of text on the thing, like those old-timey movies with no sound. Yeah, no, it looks really cool. So I'm looking forward to that. Oh, yay. Sweet. They can hear us. Lord Chester can hear us now.
I was about to say, worst case scenario, I was about to try it on my phone and see if it can.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is
see, we're two white men who are over 35, so our technology skills are probably...
I'm over 40, so yeah.
Oh, so am I, so that's
okay. Yeah, right. I work in tech, which is crazy, but yeah.
I know my way around a computer, but sound stuff on YouTube, I do not.
Streaming, yeah, like I've streamed once before, and it was on Twitch. Anyway, so...
Yeah, so it looks pretty cool. It'll be interesting to see what it comes out. It'll be funny if this is completely... Because we did just see... Was it today? There was this new Chaos Demon book that was covered for 40k.
That was yesterday. Yeah.
So maybe it's something to do with them.
It could be. I mean, because with demons, the great thing about demons is that you can buy one army and play 2 different games with them.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah, and some things are kind of like cooler in one game than they are in the other too. For example, I really like how Bellicor works in 40k. I think he is one of the funnest things out there. He's basically Kragnos of
40k.
Of 40k. He's just running around smashing stuff.
Does he have the same ability to stop someone doing something for him?
No, he doesn't. Which is the only thing I don't personally like about him in Age of Sigmar is just because it's uninteractive and not so fun. It's just like you don't get to do that. It's like okay, great. But in 40k, he goes through how invulns are a big thing in 40k. Mm-hmm. You just don't get your invulns against him. He just doesn't care. and he's like -1 to hit and wound and oh man. Anyway, I'll stop gushing about Bellicor specifically in 40k.
Okay, so well, that was our intro.
That was our intro.
We kind of have a set schedule plan of what we want to do for the episode. So yeah, the intro was that, and then discussion of rumors. We were shoehorning in there.
Yeah.
And then we're going to talk about what we've done in our hobby recently.
Yes.
So I have been doing. I put some pictures on Twitter. I've recently finished another Avatar game, Kane, because I have a fetish for Avatars of Kane.
Yeah.
Even though, unfortunately, in the new edition, they're not as useful.
Well, yeah.
They're very hitty, but the problem you have in the new edition is not of the book, of the game, is you kind of need Galician veterans.
And you can't make them...
things that can kill lots of Galician veterans.
Can you make them battle
Avatars are great and hard hitting,
yeah.
But Avatars are usually better versus monsters or independent characters. I'm 5-6-0 now against Archeon for just sticking Avatars into him because you can buff them to hell, you can heal them, he can't heroic killing blow them, things like that. But in this new version, they just don't have the attack output to deal with lots of hordes when you can have troops which have got +1 damage versus battle line. It's a big difference. So yeah, I tried them for a game at the weekend against Ogres, and yeah, they're very good, but are they as good as, say, Blood Sisters or Witch Elves with Bounty Hunters?
You took them against Chris's Ogres?
No, it's one of the local guys, Yuri.
Oh, right.
He's a newer player, so it's like I was kind of having fun with it and trying to help him, like prompting them to things like, all out attack, all out defense. Do you want to redeploy, that sort of thing? But it was more like I just wanted to test out just to see if it could stand its own, even against something like ogres.
Yeah.
It could very, very easily.
Cool.
And that was kind of avatars and blood sisters and some witch elves. Very few heroes. I think I had like maybe 400 points in heroes.
Wow.
Which a lot of my lists right now, with Purple Sun being such a thing, a lot of my lists are more MSU or very small amount of points in heroes, just because that thing's a beast.
It's really crazy. We'll see what they do with it. And it'll probably last for at least a little while before they make any changes to it.
Yeah.
But you never know. Like they did change cogs, if you remember, when it came into, I want to say, the very start of AoS 3, you could get an extra spell on every wizard within range of it or something absolutely nutty. So Zeech was just like, what? Yes,
As
all
much
of
as part of me believe it's going to get nerfed, I also have a strong feeling it doesn't, because one of the big problems we had with, again, wouldn't say big problems, but one of the bigger play styles of General's Handbook 2021 was big heroes, big monsters.
Yep.
And Purple Sun is a great counter to big heroes and big monsters. If you're MSU or you've got enough bodies to kind of like zone out Purple Sun, you don't care about it. Like zombies, or like you had with Skaven, you surround your heroes with clan rats, so you can't get in that free inch.
Yeah.
You're laughing like, wow, you're going to kill a clan rat, good for you. Yeah, you're going to get the -1 armor, but again, your heroes are going to be fine.
It's true. I mean, it's an interesting, like, I do like what they've done. I said this last time, but like they're breaking the meta wide open with this whole Gaussian venture.
Bear's on. Hi, Bear.
Hello.
Rerolling ones, and if you haven't checked them out, you should check them out.
Yes. They're an amazing channel. They're the
our
only
neighbors.
They're our neighbors. A bunch of really nice guys. Like just absolute salt.
And Bear's got that accent as well.
I have not met Bear. I don't.
Have you seen him on the channel? Because he's got that kind of.
I'm trying to think.
Southern accent.
Oh right, duh. I'm sorry.
Bear.
Yeah,
There's only one Bear.
Well, the last two I watched were with Jack and Shu or Brent. I can't remember now. I watched their anyway. I'll highly recommend them though. They're fantastic. Best, probably. It's hard to like just say that they're better than my channel. You know what I mean? But
they've got more experience in your channel.
They've been doing it longer than me, so yeah. Well, I have to give it to them. But
yeah, so Purple Sun is. I think it might be around for a while. If anything, they might put its points up to 100. But yeah, I can obviously, because again, it's like. I think it makes you think how you play the game and deploy against it. So when I played against you and we both had Purple Sun, I wasn't mentally prepared to face a Purple Sun. So after the game, I was like, right, so when I deploy next time, I'm going to bubble my stalkers around my cauldron, because that's the kind of thing that's going to be the target. Because the Medusas are all spread out. Because then that way, I've got a bubble of snakes that's going to keep the Purple Sun away from my 3 inches of the cauldron. And if I lose a bow snake or two from the Purple Sun, I've got my 4-up rally. So if I need to, I can just rally them. And I would rather lose a bow snake or two than losing the cauldron. Because that's kind of like more the key piece of my army.
Or even just a smaller hero. Yeah.
But I see people like, there was a guy... Hey Wow, I think it was a sign.
Hey Wow?
Of someone on Twitter who lost 2 more crosses in the game. That's in one turn.
Oh, okay.
But they were next to each other, and then there's the Purple Sun. And it's like, but if you're facing against the potential Purple Sun, there's no way you should be in their mindset of, oh, I'm going to have all my heroes in a position where 1 Purple Sun in 1 turn can get everyone. You want to be spreading them out, or if you have like, your Skaven or your Soulblade Gravelords, you have the bodies to be able to create that bubble of, even if you're losing, like if you're having to waste a unit of 20 clan rats, but all it's going to do for the whole game is bubble you from Purple Sun, then that is saving you like 600 to 800 points if it's just killing your heroes off.
It's true. Yeah,
So I
it's
think that's the thing, is I think it's like a lot of people have got to adjust to the mindset of Purple Sun is a thing, and I don't think they're going to touch it for a wee while, even if
I
they do.
don't think so either, but
Yeah.
we'll see. It kind
I
of
was sure. I was like 100% like they're going to nerf this. This is going to get hit. But then thinking about it over the last week and like changing that mindset is, yeah, I've got a feeling they're going to keep it around.
they might. I kind of hope. I'm of the opinion that I prefer light touches
Yeah.
anyway. So like even if it's if they really feel like they have to touch it, then 30-point increase or
Yeah.
whatever max, and then go from there. But
I'm also looking at I was chatting about it today on the Discord as well, where I'm kind of looking at the other side of it as well. It's like, what about instead of playing the Purple Sun and using that, what about if I play to kind of counter or abuse the fact that they have a Purple Sun? So,
yep,
for instance, dropping my Purple Sun and cogs, because my magic isn't a magic heavy army. I literally have cogs to cast a Purple Sun and maybe mine it. But I can ditch Cogs and Purple Sun, take Dorelia Van Dens, who can kill endless spells, but also can kill the wizards casting the endless spells. So with the Stalkers and Dorelia, I could probably snipe out a hero a turn, a wizard a turn,
wow.
maybe even like a big wizard.
How
And
does
if you can kill the people casting the endless spells, or the ones that are controlling it, then
yeah?
you can steal it and you can just use it.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you kill like you know, if you kill like their power caster, the one that's sort of being used to throw the spell out
Yeah.
there, then you're away to the races. But
Because that's the thing with predatories as well, is they've got to have a mage within 30 that can control it,
yeah,
and you can only have one predatory per mage. So if you can manipulate it or even steal it, you then have access to a purple sun which isn't in your army. You've killed probably the people that were casting it, and then you can use it against them. Meanwhile, you're then saving those points for other stuff.
yeah, I like it.
Especially like I've seen like Sir Jeremy's list that recently won, which could be a good segue into that.
Yeah,
He has the purple sun in the bottle, and then
he
he
has
has
it
a
in
mage.
Caradron Overlords.
Yeah,
Just to be specific.
and then he has a navigator, I think, with the arcane tomb. So he gets the purple sun for like cast for free. You can't dispel it when it comes out. So it comes on, it does its damage, it does the -1 rend for his shooting attacks, but then his arcane tomb mage takes over and he keeps in control of it. But if you can kill that arcane tomb mage, it's then wild and you get to steal it.
Wow. Yeah, and KO is not the hardest thing to,
Yeah.
as a general rule, to kill. So,
But Jeremy's a smart player, so
Yeah.
I very much assume in that turn he's got the purple sun. He will probably be trying to kill your mages to make sure you can't steal it.
oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
Do you need a mage to steal it?
So basically, when purple sun becomes wild, because it's a predatory spell,
Yeah, so you got to
any
kill.
predator
You kill
spell,
you kill the mage that's controlling it.
it goes wild.
He goes wild.
And then if you have another mage within 30 inches, you can take control of it again. If you don't, your opponent can take control of it.
Okay.
If they don't have a predatory engine spell.
I see.
So it's very much a thing of like, you kill their mage and steal it, you then have a free 70-point mage you can then run rampant on his army.
Totally.
And if you've killed his mages, he can't dispel it, because the ability to spell and then the spell you can't do with heroic willpower.
Okay. Cool.
So yeah, so it's
so-
a good.
So
I'm going to try it, see how
Yeah.
it goes.
and as you said, the segue into Jeremy winning the local tournament.
Yeah, so we can jump into that now. I
Sure.
reposted it in our little group, but I'll go up to the list as well. So this weekend was a tournament. It's I think it's called Sunshine on the Coast,
Something like that.
near Tacoma.
Yeah.
And the reason we bring this up, as we said, it's a local tournament for us. So it's kind of like a lot of these people will, if we go down to Seattle, we end up playing against these guys, or they might even come up for Kippers this year.
Yeah,
So
and for
we'll see
people
how
who
it
don't
goes.
know, we're in the Vancouver area, which is in Canada.
Yeah.
Not Vancouver, Washington, but Vancouver, British Columbia. But as you said in the last one, our area with their area, the Washington area, and bits of Oregon, I think too, have always kind of
Yes.
formed a region. And
Yeah.
Anyway,
So the Pacific Northwest Masters consists of BC and the Seattle, Oregon, Washington and Oregon area.
Right.
Even I think a bit of Indianapolis is in it as well, because there's one event there.
Indianapolis.
Yeah, there's
Indiana?
I think Oh, Indiana. Sorry, my U.S. geography is not very good.
Indiana
Sorry.
is like really far from here.
Where is
Do you
it?
mean Montana?
I'll bring it up in the
Okay.
background because it's the south region of the Pacific Northwest Masters.
Oh,
It doesn't actually say where it is. I'll tell you where the event is.
okay. Interesting. I can.
So it is, because I'll give them a plug. So it's I think it's the Spokane Open.
Oh, Spokane. Yep.
Oh no, yeah, no, the Boys Cup. That's it, the Boys Cup.
Cool.
Actually, Bear, I think, is connected to that as well. Oh no, he's Emerald City, which
Emerald
I just
City.
signed up for, which we'll post up in a minute.
Seattle is the Emerald City. Spokane is another
So it's
city.
Boys ID. Is ID Indianapolis or
Okay.
where's ID?
Oh, ID.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Idaho.
Oh, Idaho. Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
There you go.
I've got
See it
cousins
again
in
now.
Idaho. That's cool.
I know where Seattle is. I know where Washington,
Yeah.
and I know where Oregon and California is. The rest is just like, yeah.
Idaho's
So
like
Idaho is
southeast
also
of
kind of
Washington.
technically, even though it's far away for us,
Yeah,
it's kind of in our
quite
region.
far. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've got cousins in Idaho.
yeah.
Yeah. Cool. That's awesome.
But yeah, Summer on the Coast was this weekend. So the top 8 in order were number 1 was Jeremy Vezier
Okay.
with Carradine Overlords with his own list.
Yep.
Number 2 was Thomas Guan with
Okay.
Daughters of Cain.
Daughters of Cain.
Number 3
Clap, clap,
was
clap.
it was a non-Marathi Daughters of Cain as well, which I was quite happy about.
Extra clap, clap.
Yeah. Number 3 was Blades of Corn, which I do want to look at that list because I just don't understand it.
Wow.
Number 4 was Matt Beasley with his good host of Slaanesh list. He won the Rivals in Bellingham with.
Wow.
As
He
a
won with
finisher of that.
Slaanesh, hey?
Yeah, because he was using, so basically his Slaanesh list, he's got Sigfold and a lot of the Manticore and Kronspine. And his list is very much, he's got a lot of the shooting. So he basically uses all his shooting to just clip units to get the
Totally.
depravity.
Yep.
And then he uses the depravity to summon. So in the game against we had,
Yeah.
which was a draw and he won by grand strategy, I think he said we got about 900 to 1,000 points back.
Wow. Yeah.
And it's because he's like tagging, because all you need to do is do a wound to a unit and you're getting the depravity for
No,
it.
I know.
So you can
As long
get
as they
like
don't die.
5 to 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's just splitting his fire amongst all the enemy units to
Wow.
get a wound on each unit, and he's just raking that depravity in every turn.
Amazing.
And then he's just throwing bodies out, and he's not necessarily doing it to try and kill you. He's just trying to get all these bodies out so he can go for your target pieces and take the objectives, because he's just pumping out what he needs to
You
deal
know
with
what?
the situation.
Is there anything cooler than someone taking an army that everyone sort of universally
Yeah.
agrees is quite underpowered and then like doing really well with it? Like
Yeah.
it's like
And Matt's a nice guy. He's an intelligent player as well.
Oh, Matt Beasley is well
yeah, he
known.
works it well, and he's got the cron spine as well. So if there's that threat, he needs to throw something in to deal with it, to hold it up for a turn or two. He's got the cron spine for that.
I'm so impressed with winning with Slaanesh that I don't even care that he brought Kronspine, which I hate.
Yeah. And also Sigvald being 205 points is amazing.
Yes.
He's so good for that. He's
and
such a good
he
one.
ignores what do you call it, like
Feel no pain.
feel no pain.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to come up with the non 40k version. Ward saves.
Yeah.
There we go. That's awesome.
So then we have Chris Hall with Slate of Darkness, Alexander Gonzalez with Nighthorn, James Marriott with Seraphon, and then another Carradine Overlords player
Wow.
for Zorak. I apologize for people for murdering your names.
Yeah.
So I mean, their lists are online for that. The one I would like to have a look at, and you might be able to look at this as well, is the Blades of Corn,
Yes.
because where is it? It's Skull Crushers.
Okay. Because so for people that don't know, I was actually going to film a battle report with me and featuring me and Andy, and
Yeah.
Andy was going to play Blades of Corn, and
Okay.
I was going to bring my Castelli list because that's like I haven't played it in a little while. So then we ended up not filming it because like we both hadn't played with the new GHB at that point, and then or it was like our second one. Alex says, "Ew, ward saves." Yeah. Real orcs don't use ward saves, right, Alex? But wait, what was I saying? Oh, right. So we were going to film it, and then we
You and
didn't.
Andy.
And yeah, it was a rough game. Like, things went really wrong for Andy. Like, he wasn't rolling well at all. But man, it was brutal. And it was just my stupid Castelline list, which you know what I mean? It's like not that strong. Yeah. But with bounty hunters, like, you put them in bounty hunters, and yeah, they're pretty cool. But he had like no Galatian veterans either. That was what was crazy. He had like 2 units of Reaver. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But yeah, it's Khorne are exceptionally difficult to win with right now. But they do have the power, I think, if you see the Matrix and whatnot and play.
So I'm going to do a quick segue because now we're past we've done our early bit. So
tonight
I am drinking a Somersby mango and lime, which I've never had before. It's actually really quite good. I quite like this. I like this more than the one I had last week, which is like a black cherry.
Now that's a cooler, right?
No, it's a cider, I think.
Oh, a cider. Sorry, that's what.
It's just flavored cider, but yeah, it's good. The lime's got a nice kick to it at the end, so yeah, I'm enjoying it. I could drink quite a few of these.
Ciders are delicious.
So we'll have a quick look at it. I'll just quickly mention his list because so he's Gore-Tide.
Let's do it. Yeah.
His grand strategy is no place for the weak, and he's Triumph's bloodthirsty.
No place for the weak. Is that the one where you killed your opponent's Galatian veterans?
I think so.
Right?
Off the top of my head, I'm not sure.
Or Battle Line? I can't remember.
I can look up in a minute. But even for heroes, he has no bloodthirsters. So he has a Bloodsecrator with the Banner of Rage. He has a Bloodstoker, a Lord of Khorne on Juggernaut as his general, with 2 the Foe and Thronebaker's Talk. Again, a lot of these items don't really know about. Another Slaughter Priest with the Blood-Bathed Axe, Arcane Tomb, and Killing Frenzy.
Yeah.
Another Slaughter Priest with the Axe and Bronze Flesh, and another Slaughter Priest with Blood Sacrifices. It's 3 Slaughter Priests, a Bloodstoker, a Bloodsecrator, and a Lord on Juggernaut.
Cool.
He then has 2 reinforced twice unit of Mighty Skull Crushers.
Yeah.
Reinforced 1 unit of Mighty Skull Crushers and a 1 unit of Skull Crushers. So that's 9, 6, and 3 Skull Crushers.
Wow.
And then he has 2 units of 10 Blood Reavers, Prismatic Palisades.
Okay, I mean,
I
get it.
Skull Altar, a unit of Wrathmongers, and 2 Warlords. And he comes in at 1980s. Oh, and Bounty Hunters. So all his Skull Crushers are in Bounty Hunters. So they're all getting +1 damage against troops.
Wow.
And
against Galatian veterans. Yeah.
Did pretty well. He came second with that list.
That's amazing.
Considering the ones around him, it's like really good.
Yeah. Oh, and Alex said that it's against No Place for the Weak is killing their battle line.
Okay.
Thanks, Alex. No, that's a really cool list. So I forgot to say what I'm painting or what I'm working on. I just finished some terrain for the channel.
Oh, nice. Some more terrain.
Yeah, so I got that, and then I got another piece of this, it's called like Azurite Townscape, or I forget what it's called. Anyway, got some more terrain coming for the channel. I've got like 60 clan rats on my desk right now, and the Warbringer, but the Verminlord Warbringer. But I'm also putting together stuff for Soulblight Gravelords, so
nice.
A lot of stuff on there. But that's awesome. So do we want to move over to the War Cry or Skirmish game?
Yeah, we can do, because they were just we had the preview at the weekend.
Sure.
So this weekend just passed. Are you going to bring up the images, Joey?
I will do it right. Boom.
Yeah. So we just had a Warhammer preview at the weekend, which was for Underworld's and the smaller games, the side games.
Right.
So it was for what's that 40k one?
Kill Team.
Kill Team. Yeah. Underworld's Warcry, and I think Blood Bowl and Ashlands or Necromunda.
Oh, Necromunda, right on. Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully in the next week or two, like probably not this weekend, but maybe the weekend after, we should be getting the next Warhammer and 40k previews.
Right. Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah.
I don't.
Because we should be starting to see like soon of the destruction book, since we know we've got like we've seen the preview for the
Lumineth,
Lumineth and
Zeech. Yep.
Zinch box set,
Yep.
so we know that's coming this month, which means we'll probably get their books, as we said, next month.
Yep.
So that means we should be looking at end of this month, early next month, seeing what the 2 destruction books or what's going to be coming out next.
Yes. So when they do the preview, I think when they usually do the preview for the Battle Tome, that coming out is when around the time when we'll see the next box set or whatever, right? But who knows? Maybe they're not doing a box set for Gits or
Yeah, they might not.
Like it's hard to say just because they've got so many things coming out in a short period of time there.
Yeah.
I hope they do, like because everyone deserves to get a little something, you know. Some armies deserve it more than others, but anyway. So I've got the Warcry box that came up. What did you think of the box set?
It's not that bad. Like the stuff. Have you got it up there in the picture?
So I've just scrolled down to like the overall the picture of the board.
Oh, with the Warcry one?
Yeah.
It's actually, I quite like the terrain.
I want the terrain.
Yeah, it's actually kind of a more interesting box because again, you've got the where is it? Warcry. I'm just going to go to the game reference. Yeah, so inside you get the horns of Hashut.
Oh yeah,
and you get the Rotmire Creed Warband.
Yes.
So it's like a Nurgle and just a generic, like
I think
they're going to be generic slaves to darkness. But
well, they're slaves to darkness, but Hashut isn't that the god of the Chaos Dwarves?
It was, yeah. So
I don't know. But like the rumor, remember that leak that we're getting Chaos Dwarves as one of the main factions for Age of Sigmar for AoS 3. So that's, I mean, with that plus you couple that with the grenades that the Kruleboy Slittas use that are like Chaos Dwarf made, like it seems pretty reliable now. I feel, I mean, everyone has their own thing. The Hashut guys are they're very slaves to darkness, like as you kind of said. They're sort of I don't know, like hardcore kind of gladiator looking dudes.
Yeah. I'm stupid. I remember when they came because the rules obviously only for slaves to darkness. Yeah. And they do some damage when they charge because of their horned hounds. And all the Lumineth players were like, but our cows don't get damage when they charge.
That's true, but they've got flimsy helmets, and who knows? Maybe that'll come in the next book. I'm not super into the Hashut guys, but these weird like swamp. Are they supposed to be Nurgle? Like I can't tell.
I think that's what the aim. They're like Rotmire kind of sounds very Nurgle-y. So.
Yeah, it's like it's almost like they're hanging out with the Kruleboys in like the swamp and whatnot.
Yeah. Because the ones we've had in the past, I think they're very Slaneshi. One of them were, because we've already had a couple that have come out.
Yeah.
Oh, so maybe this is kind of like the generic. This is like your Nurgle one, and then your like generic.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I guess we never got a Nurgle one. There was a Zeech one with those.
Yeah.
And let's see. Actually, anyway, Alex, before I forget, he said ogres and gits because of their lack of what do you call it? Battle tactics.
Battle tunes.
Well, not just that, but they never got like a white dwarf supplement to carry them over, so they don't have battle tactics, grand strategies, anything. They're really hurting right now, so that seems like a solid bet. Giants got it, and they're the only other one that doesn't have like a book.
I have one wish for a Gits book.
Yes.
And I know it's not going to happen, but please bring back the Doom Diver. Bring back.
Hey,
it was the most iconic. Fanatics and Doom Divers and Squigs was some of the most iconic kind of Gits things for me.
You know what's going to be, though? Like, I hate to tell you this.
Spiders, probably.
It's going to be the Spider Hero, because he's resin.
Spiders.
I love spiders. Like, if they do spiders proud, I might just buy into Gits. Because I actually had enough for 2,000 points of Spider Riders and Arachnoroks.
Oh, yeah?
But, yeah, I bought it from Toy Traders. They had a clearance sale. It predates the Start Collecting. There used to be like I forget what they called them before they had Start Collecting boxes, but it was 10 Spider Riders and an Arachnorock. They were like $85 on clearance for $60 Canadian, which is criminally cheap. I bought 3 of them. That was actually Alex that told me about them at Toy Traders. And so I picked up 3 of them. So it was $180 for 2,000 points if you included the battalions that existed at the time. Yeah, I really love spiders. And so the only spider thing we have left is this resin guy. He actually looks really cool. I think he's called a... oh, shoot. I can't remember. Something on Giant Spider, I think. Anyway. Oh, man. I love them. So...
Do you want to scroll down to the terrain part of the image, just because I want to...
Oh, yeah, the terrain is my favorite part of this box.
Yeah, because it's that skull piece.
The skull is awesome. I love the trees, though, too. They're weird.
Yeah.
I love weird, sort of, crazy-looking trees. That
Can you bring it up on the YouTube part so people can see that?
Yep, people can see it.
Oh, okay, it's delayed.
There's a delay, yeah.
yeah, delayed.
So
because it looks pretty. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I mean they look cool.
They're really
it's
cool.
Something different. It gives you. Yeah. It's giving you options. So the Fondria box was really expensive, but if you can get that cheaper, plus with these and stuff, it's starting to give you some nice options for skirmish terrain.
Well, my main terrain, as most people will know, is the first Warcry box of terrain, coupled with a few other things that I thought kind of matched it. But I think this would go really well, especially when you don't want to use the full-on Wildwoods, because sometimes those are a little bit of a pain to use, whereas these are more like regular sort of terrain. But yeah, I'm hoping to get it one box, assuming the price isn't ridiculous. But they've been kind of crazy lately. But yeah, no, and there's and then you got they've got new rules and all sorts of scatter terrain and whatnot. Actually, you can kind of see that there. But yeah, no, it looks really cool. So I'm excited for that. They didn't say a release date, right?
No, it's just previews. So usually, these will most likely be August, September.
Right. And then someone pointed out that you've got some very obviously Seraphon-looking scatter terrain in there as well. So that's kind of a cool little feature of them.
Well, this is going into the heart of Gur. I think that's kind of the thing of it, isn't it?
Yeah, we're definitely thoroughly in Gur, and I love how there's skulls and stuff at the bottom of most of the trees and whatnot. So various skulls. And they're not just boring human skulls like GW normally puts in every part of their terrain. Like the Realm of Battle boards, there's literally 1,000 skulls planted throughout the ones that I have. Anyway, should we move on to the Underworld reveal?
Yeah, go for it.
Cool. So these were really cool. I started with the dogs. I literally I had the dogs ready.
It's a very, what I look at this and I instantly think of Van Helsing, the film with Hugh Jackman. It's very stereotype, European vampire hunters, but that's cool. It looks cool.
With faux cool English bulldog kind of looking hounds or whatever. Yeah.
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 One of them's got an eye patch, I think, as well. It's just been raked. It's it looks fun.
It's super cool. I'll bring up some of the other guys while we're through that.
I kind of play Underworlds.
Okay.
I tried to play Underworlds. I have loads of the cards. The problem I have with Underworlds is there's so many cards and 90% of them are junk.
Yeah.
So it's kind of whenever you're trying to make a list and you can use list builders online, you end up spending an hour hunting for all these cards, trying to find the ones you want. And I just find that pain in the butt.
By the way, this guy with the crossbow, how hardcore is he? He's got a bomb.
Helmet.
He's got a bomb on the end of his bolt. It's so cool. And the weird
That's hilarious.
The weird crotch armor. Just covers his crotch.
See, I like the dog with the eye patch. He just looks that's brutal.
Honestly, they're all cool.
Have an eye match. It might just be a missing eye because of the scars. I can't really see, but
I like this big guy here. I don't know.
Oh, well, the one with the shoulder, neck.
I wanted to, and the giant axe. I wanted to call him Lurch, from Addams Family.
Oh yeah,
kind of reminds me of that. But
the whole set, it's just pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, and this...
it fits very much in the Van Dents as well.
Totally.
Who I the Van Dents are kind of they're okay.
And they're kind of got an old world vibe to a lot of it as well.
But I just love trying to put Drelier in my list because she just has this aura of badassness, where
Yeah.
it's just like this vampire, like this witch hunter with this crossbow that just like shoots endless spells or like smacks wizards. I
She
love it.
shoots endless spells? Oh, she can, like, take them out.
Yeah, yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah. So Durelia and the other guard, I can't remember what the other guy's called.
The one from the mother or the daughter father memes that
Yeah.
yeah.
Basically, their shooting attacks, and I think his combat attacks as well. If you target an endless spell, you roll to hit as normal.
Yeah.
But instead of rolling to wound, you roll 2 dice, and if you beat, it's like you're dispelling. You roll a dispel against it. So essentially, you can get Durelia can fire 2 shots at a purple sun if she stands still, and potentially shoot off a purple sun.
Wow.
Which is kind of a fun thing because again, like it's an interesting piece because if she doesn't move, she gets +1 to hit and +1 to shoot, and her stats are okay.
Yeah.
But if she shoots at a wizard or at a demon, keywords, she gets double damage. So she gets 4 damage for each shot at them. And I think it's Ren too, so it can actually like hurt. So you can like one-shot support mages and stuff with it.
How many points is she again?
Beforehand, she was very much like she would see play.
Yeah.
But there wasn't really any endless spells around. Like
No.
most of the time, you'd see maybe a spell portal,
Yep.
or maybe a cogs. Like this is the weird thing. This is what we discussed kind of last time.
Yeah.
Where Emerald Blessing,
Yeah.
where we've gone from a situation where no one really used endless spells. Like most taught this why I was like endless spells. Like I have no idea. Like I made mistakes on the last thing on it. That's because no one uses them. So at some point I was told, hey, this is what endless spells do, and I was like, sure, okay. You're not knowing.
Sounds logical.
And now we're in a meta where like there's 2 or 3 endless spells and a lot of lists. There's a lot of purple suns kicking around.
Yeah. Yeah. And
So she may start creeping back, like the 2 of them. They're only 115 points. So 115 points to kind of be able to help counter 2 endless spells a turn because you can split.
It's
your fire
150 points for just Aurelia?
Yeah, it's 115 points each for each of them.
Oh, okay.
So you
but
can take
she's
both
like
of them
way
to
better than
230,
he is, though, right?
Yeah, but the majority of the time you usually see Durelia because she's got, I think it's a 24-inch range.
Yeah.
So you have that range in comparison where he's only got like a shorter range because he's got a pistol. So he has more attacks to be able to do the damage to the end of spells, but he's not got that range capacity like she does.
I see.
Because you've got to have players on. Like if you're against someone who doesn't have endless spells, you want to try and use that shooting ability to like get those support heroes, or even if they're not a wizard or a demon, it's still 2 damage with 2 shots, so you can still hurt stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I think she might see. I said I'm going to try running her again.
Yep.
Instead of running the endless spells and just see how it goes.
And can Durelia and what's his bucket go into any order army?
I think so. They're basically their cities of Sigma.
Oh, so if you can ally in cities,
yeah.
I see.
And I think everyone can ally in cities.
I don't know.
I think.
Actually, here.
I know Stormcast can, Daughters can, and Lumineth can. So I kind of presume because everyone like.
Oh, nice.
If you think, yeah.
Deepkin can.
Yeah. So if you think about most of the cities have subsections which allow you to have 1 in every 4 units be blah.
Yeah.
I think every orders can have
Totally.
cities.
Yeah.
I think. I can't quote it off my heart, but I think.
I was thinking because I don't know if I want to buy Durelia just for that, but I do have the guy from Cursed City. Maybe I could just because he's got some kind of stake gun. That's what I was thinking. I mean, if I love Durelia the model. I actually like the guy too. I think they're both really cool. All of the Witch Hunter models are the bee's knees. In fact, I think the Underworld one is my least favorite. Yeah, he's so generic.
Yeah.
He's just got I mean, actually, you know what? That torch is kind of cool.
Bigger.
Oh, but he does have the stakes across his chest.
Yeah. He needs a bigger. He needs his hat covering more of his face.
That's true.
That's like if Durelia, if you put the hat on, it covers like pretty much her whole face.
Oh, you have the option?
Glorious. You have the option. You either have a normal, so you can either have a head with hair, or you can just have a bald head with the hat.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Wait, can the guy have a hat too?
No, I think he's just got a... Yeah, I know. I think...
He's the one that needs a hat to cover his face.
He's still sitting on his view, so I'm not sure. He hasn't even had the respect to be built yet.
Yeah, I mean...
It's like the Daughters of Cain... All my Daughters of Cain stuff is built apart from the Blade Wind Endless spell, because it just doesn't deserve to be put together.
I haven't painted this guy, but I love him. He's from Curse
Oh yeah,
City.
you could totally use that.
What size base is Dorelli on?
I think she's a 32.
Hopefully.
I'm not 100% sure.
Because this is a 32 for sure. Got her. Boop. Queek. Confirmed. Yeah, that would be sweet. Because, yeah, I need to finish painting some Curse City. I was thinking, like, I'm putting this out there just for fun, but, like, I was thinking of maybe doing games of Curse City as, like a battle report, you know? Like I
don't know how long a game lasts of Curse City. Or...
you could definitely
You might need to
shorter than AoS,
release it in sections or something.
True, I mean, but way shorter than AoS. Like,
really?
You go on missions. I want to say it's like 45 minutes when you know what you're doing.
But is this including the amount of time we'll prat about?
Well, but you know what the nice thing is though is that like we could just film it, like maybe top down, and just play the game, and like it'll have.
You can also edit bits out.
I can edit bits out, but like we can make conversation while we're looking up rules if we need to. But yeah, maybe I'll send you the rules, and then you can see if you're interested, Dale. But it's really. Yeah,
you said that.
Cool.
Yeah. It was really on sale in Vancouver, but I said the only reason I didn't pick it up is just because I just don't.
Damn it, Dale. It was so cheap.
Like, my friend group wouldn't play it, so it's kind of like I'd rather someone else pick it up and paint it, and I'll come and play it.
I mean,
or I'll even paint some models towards it.
I've got almost all of it painted. Pretty much everything except for the heroes and Radikar. I was going like from the stuff I least wanted to paint to the stuff I most wanted to paint. So yeah, so I've got to paint. That's why this guy isn't Jared or whatever. I can't remember his name.
Yeah. I'm going to mute my microphone quickly just because the dog's going to be.
No problem.
My partner's coming in.
No problem. I'll take over for a little bit. So let's see here. We've gone through those two things, and then there was something else that I was supposed to bring up. Oh. Actually, no, I didn't have it ready, but
That's okay. I'm back. She stopped barking.
Excellent, sweet, good dog.
She's instantly gone back to being not interested.
Good dog. Excellent. I appreciate that because I was starting to panic because I don't.
I was listening to you and he's like, I'll take over.
I was like, wait a minute. We like went through all the planned content already.
Warcry. A brief. So we put up a post on the video while Rob's loading anything or thinking of stuff. Yeah. On the last video where we had a game, just because there was a number of things we did miss or get wrong, and like we totally own our mistakes. We're not like some people, from what I've been told, who do not own their mistakes. And like we're still learning. It was a new thing. I think the big ones for us were the endless spell thing.
Yep.
Like we've looked into that, and again, it was a weird one because not anyone could really confirm it for us. It was a case of yes, endless spells.
We both spent like 45 minutes to an hour asking some of the best people out there, and we couldn't get like a solid thing. But it was actually some people in the comments, and if I wish I pinned the comment of the guy who like laid it out.
It was Coda A.
That's it. Yeah.
Cody A.
Cody
was one.
Yeah. That's the one I pinned, right?
Your input. Yeah.
And
so he's sort of talked about the endless spells.
Yeah.
So I'll quickly go down them just so we can cover them because I've got them all here. So the first one is monsters still count as 5 for objectives.
Yes.
That's actually in the core book, not from the general.
That was something you told me was different in the new one. We even say it on camera.
You told me that.
No, I didn't. I literally said on camera. That's something I didn't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay, well, I don't know. Someone told me that, though. But yeah, it was definitely. I know definitely if you kill a monster's gone. But yeah, so that is still a thing. So I don't know where I got that one from. Blame me.
I mean, but it makes sense
second
because
one-
it was like so leaning towards monsters. Like I get why you would think that.
Yeah.
Like you know, like the spell is gone to make a hero a monster. You know what I mean? Like that kind of
Yeah.
thing. So yeah, I get where
It
you were.
was good.
Where yeah, exactly.
We're gonna have a rematch. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
The second one was when a unit charges into cover, it doesn't get cover.
That and
So
that
when
I
you're-
knew. That I
Okay.
actually knew because it's always been that way since AoS 1, I think. Like I think that was actually in AoS 1. I know it was in AoS 2 because it was a big deal for Deepkin because it was turn 1, you get a cover save, but your whole army gets a cover save, but when you charge in, you lose any cover save you would get. So it's just like ugh. But yeah, no. At the time,
Again, cover is just something I just didn't.
well, we don't. It used to be a much more prevalent thing in AOS 1 and 2, like with the terrain, the sort of terrain that we were using. Like we used to use the old Wildwoods where they were just like you know what I mean, like a little template almost. And when you're on top of that, you get cover, right? But anyway.
So the next one for the main roles was so we confirmed that if person A and person B have a purple sun, you can both cast it in your respective turns, and you can have 2 purple suns on the table.
Yeah.
If person A's and purple sun is dispelled, he can then not recast it in the same turn. So if person B at the beginning of the magic phase uses their ability, because you can do it at the beginning of the magic phase to dispel and dispel, if he dispels person A's purple sun, person A can then not go, okay, I'm going to recast purple sun.
Yeah.
He can do it in the next turn, but that's not in that turn.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we've confirmed those. General Handbook 2022, we had 2, which was Desecrate the Lands. Isn't just faction terrain, it's any terrain. So the problem I had was I had printed out, because I have those little magnetic tokens.
Yep.
I'd printed out them until mine turned up. And it was missing the ore, so it just said faction terrain or thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so I had to go for the faction terrain.
That was
It's
so
actually,
crazy. Because Alex was the one who said that. It's not, it's ore. And I was like, but he read it out on camera. Like you literally said it on camera.
Yeah.
And I literally said on video, that's crazy, because what if they don't even have faction terrain? What if this, that, and the other? And anyway.
Because that was the thing. It's like, I was sure it was Eddie. But then when I read it, it was like, faction terrain. I was like, oh.
I was like,
oh, okay.
Well, it's a good thing I
was
happen
going to do
to
it
have.
to the thing next to me.
Yeah.
But then I had to go over and do it. Yeah. So anyway, so it's any faction terrain.
Yeah.
It's great. It makes it easier for me.
And it's 3 inches. I think we played 1 inch, but it's within 3 inches. So.
And the other one was show the dominance grand strategy can only be Galatian veterans.
Yes,
so
and I didn't know that, but at the time, like we were at the end of like a 7-hour
it was long
filming. Yeah, it was.
But yeah, it was the only reason we put out was the next day. I was like, okay, so my battle tactic, my grand strategy was actually harder than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe I'll look at this other one as an option. Then it's like, oh, it's only Galatian veterans. Oops.
Exactly. Same with
then
me.
you had 2 for Skaven, which the child that shall not be named raised. So the first one was Fanquil heals D3 at the end of every combat.
He used to heal 1, and but like he just typically didn't really get hurt that much, so I didn't think about it. But yes, he should have been healing D3 automatically at the end of each combat phase. It used to be in the hero phase. So.
And then the other one was your Warlock Engineer should have got -1 to hit as lead from the back.
Yes, from so all Skaven heroes that are not monsters or have a mount, I think, are -1 to hit even in melee as long as there's 3 or more models nearby. I did not remember that at the time. So
So no, they were the ones that we did.
Yeah.
It's good to know these things because then it sticks in our brains. So then next time we do it, we're like, okay, we know these now.
We're more likely. I mean, because like, you know, I don't want to harp on it, but like when you're filming, it's so different than when you're playing. Like,
well, I said twice I forgot to move my Canary after moving them, even though my whole thing was
your
moving
whole
them
thing,
so they could charge and stuff. And it was just like afterwards, I was just like, how did I just?
And you've won tournaments. You're not exactly a slouch in that department.
Yeah. And like I know when you do stuff in camera and you play locally and more casually, you're not in the same mindset as a tournament because there's a different mindset when I'm just playing against a new player to clone.
Yeah.
I'm not playing with the same mindset
Oh,
as I would
totally.
be at a tournament where I'm trying to like calculate what the person's going to be doing. I'm trying to work out this. I'm trying to work out like what is his grand thing in his mind, how he's going to try and beat me so I can beat him to counter that.
I'm
When I'm
actually
playing against the guy in the local store, I'm just like, I want you to try and have fun,
Yeah.
and I just want to see what my list can do. So let's just, do fun stuff.
I've stopped taking Skaven because Skaven, when you roll really well, you do really well. Like you can get a free Vermin Lord. You can, do 12 mortal wounds from your cannon and do that kind of thing. So I can't play, like I no longer do, lights. You're more of a Slanesh worshiper now. I can't play like against, like when I do, like I used to do a lot of teaching games.
Yes.
At the local club. Like I got a lot of people into Age of Sigmar, but I had to stop playing Skaven when I do them because for some reason I'm cursed and I roll like perfect when I'm doing these trial games, and it's just like it makes for kind of a bad experience. But yeah,
A lot of times when I've done teaching games recently, I've either used my gits or I will try and not play, and I'll like just sit and walk two people for a game, just because I don't want to discourage someone. Like
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you see what Alex said? He laughed his butt off when you forgot to move your Canary after emphasizing how easy it was. Right?
And just emphasizing so many times about the thing. And I was sitting there afterwards, like when we'd done the charges and stuff, going, I had this, like, how did it not help? And then it clicked, and I was like, oh my God, that was the whole point about the Canary coming down, was it was going to sacrifice.
Sure was.
One,
You said,
make sure
but
one got in on a 3-inch charge so I could soak up the.
But yeah, like when you're filming, you're like trying to concentrate on getting the action on the camera, remembering your rules, talking it out loud, trying not to be a robot and boring.
Yeah, just try. Yeah.
It's.
Plus, you also get sidetracked as well, because sometimes, like,
well, yeah, you're
before,
having fun.
we would go like a month from not seeing you.
Yeah.
So then we end up like just gossiping or talking rubbish in between filming.
Yeah.
So what seems like 2 minutes where we just like change from like the movement phase has actually been like 45 minutes of us chatting while we're doing the thing and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, you do your movement phase, I'm going to look up endless spells while you're doing that.
Yeah, exactly. Especially that time, because we were totally looking them up.
Yeah.
So,
it was good, though.
So that's good.
So,
have you got any, who's coming up next on your channel? What's the next?
Eric is coming tomorrow.
Okay.
He's going to bring Sylvaneth, and I was going to put in the Saga of Dice Discord and ask the Patreons what I should play against it. Should I play Skaven again? Or should I play something else?
So you have a Saga of Dice Discord. It's a perfect time to plug that.
Yeah. Oh, and the contest. Dang it, I meant to say this at the start. So the contest is going on till tomorrow, which is Wednesday the 13th at midnight PDT, Pacific Daylight Time. And you can win a free package of Skaven Dice, a cool Nighthaunt hero, or a Space Marine. He's bringing the scary new Sylvaneth tomorrow. Anyway, the contest, though, is only on till tomorrow, and then I'm going to do the draw on Thursday. So, yeah, best of luck to everyone who entered. Thank you to everyone who entered. Some of the things that people are doing are ridiculously nice. Like, crazy nice. And I'm not giving any extra entries or favoring it. It is going to be random, but it's just so neat to see.
Alex needs to post in the fact that he gave me a load of Stormcast.
So did he? Oh, that's nice of him.
Yeah, he basically, I recently, I was looking at how to bring my Stormcast into the new version.
Yeah.
After our game, and I wasn't a big fan of the Celestial Prime and Orb Driller in that list.
Yeah.
So I'm putting in 5 Retributors, and then I had 3. So, 10 Retributors. So he had a load of spare Stormcast stuff he didn't want, so he just gave it to me in a box. That's very kind of him. So I spent the other day converting some of them, because I had enough. I think I had 7, and then I had to put 3 together just from random bits.
Yeah.
But they look fun. Like, they look great.
That's awesome.
So they're my thing to paint for August.
That's very nice. Did he give you the stuff from the Dominion box?
No, it was. I think it was something like 10 to 15 liberators, some characters. I actually
Wow.
wrote down the list of what he gave me because I
Wow,
put
that's
it
really
up in
nice.
in a
Actually,
separate.
I have a thing too. So a while back, Rob Taunts, he was doing Maggotkin on the channel, and he asked me if I had a plague priest, and I was like, yeah, I was like, I think I've got a spare one on the sprue, and so then um, I said, he said how much for it, and I was just like, you can have it, like I'm not using it, so don't worry about it. So then, and that's not, I'm not talking about me. So then today, because like he's like now pestilence are like really interesting, like they've got a lot of really cool fun things you can do, and so I messaged him today and I was like, how much do you want for that priest that I gave you? And he's like, you can have it back, like I'm not going to charge you money. I'm like, but you painted it, like that was your time. And he's just like,
Oh yeah.
I paint a lot of things, and I was like, oh man, like I feel bad, but like I'm
So going through the
yeah.
box, I ended up having like I think it was 10 liberators,
Hmm.
some evocators, some prosecutors with javelins, a
Wow.
lord veritant, a lord exorcist, and a knight venator. So they're not necessarily things I'll be using right now, but it's kind of good to give me the diversity of it.
Sorry, I'm laughing because Alex says a
It's
box. He
box of
puts a
random
box
crap,
of
yeah.
random crap. That's not crap. That's like full on
Yeah.
models.
Well, I
Like,
mean, it gave me enough to, with the three I already had and with pulling some together, it gave me, I now have a unit of 10 for attributors to paint. So thank you very
sweet.
much, Alex.
Yeah, yeah. Like a lot of man. Like everyone's so nice. Both
I mean, that's
locally.
what I kind of love about the AoS community. It's like people are very like, giving or they do stuff. Like a lot of the time I've seen people will give something to cheap to help someone out or they'll
Totally.
pass up on something if someone's needing something.
Yep.
And it's great. It's a good little, I like the community we have.
It's true. I mean, I think the wargaming community in general is
Yeah.
awesome. Like I
It's
have.
one of the things that drew me, like after coming back and then going to like Gibbers, like the vibe you have. I mean, this is what I'm trying to get to. There's a lot of new players right now that are very hesitant about going to a tournament,
Yeah.
and it's like don't think of going to a tournament to I'm gonna get beaten. Like you're going to a tournament because you're gonna play five people who you're hopefully gonna make a new friend with.
Yeah.
As someone that you enjoy playing against,
Yep.
and that it's gonna be a fun weekend. Like
Yep.
it doesn't matter. Like if you're going in with the mindset of I'm gonna 5-0, you can be very disappointed.
Or
But if
even
you're
if you're going with
going
the mindset I'm going to go 0-5 and like worrying about it, don't. Like
just go along, play some games, meet some new people, make some friends.
and learn.
And for a first AOS tournament, that's the best mindset to have. It's
Yeah.
just, go
Just,
have fun.
I
And
think
and
learning
even
is
tell people you're a newer player and some people might be I wouldn't say go easy on you, but they might not go as hard on you as they might if they're like if a lot of time if I'm playing against someone and I know I'm gonna start I'm gonna comfortably win,
yeah.
I might start giving them some things just so like it's like pity kills, but they don't know it at the time.
Yeah.
Like it just means that they can enjoy it more. I don't want to just stomp someone in turn two and them
No.
hate their game. Like that's
Exactly.
not what the game's about to me. Like I love games that go 5 rounds and it's decided in the last round or two,
Yeah.
because then it's like yeah, it's like I may beat you and I may beat you by 5 or 6 points at the end when it comes through. But if we're kind of neck and neck up until like turn 3 or 4, that means we were having a good game.
Well, and like that's one thing that's really neat about the community as opposed to like video games and other different conferences and tournaments is that um, what a lot of people don't actually aren't playing competitive. Like that's the
Yeah,
real sort of secret behind it that a lot of people don't know. Like most people are trying to win when they play
yeah,
their games, but there's a lot of people. Like if you look at like the Warhammer Weekly did a really great statistics show a long time ago about aesthetics, but it was like people taking armies to tournament and way back when Nighthaunt was like the worst win rate in the game or close to the bottom, it was still like one of the highest, most commonly brought armies. And it's just like, wow, like that really says something specifically about Age of Sigmar is that people just play what they like. They're going there to have a good time. They're not going there with you know, winning at all costs or anything even remotely close to it. For the most part, obviously there's people out there in every community, and you know what I mean. You got to look out, blah blah blah.
We used to have a guy, James Stockdale, for fantasy.
Oh, Jamie. He started shop.
He's a Pacific, yeah. He started shop. He's a Pacific Northwest legend.
Yeah.
He's the guy who like got off a chair, shouted shot. He used to, when witch hunters in fantasy had the ability to do a heroic killing blow, he used to shout something not PC before doing it, and it's like it was the comedy value of it and stuff.
Yeah.
And like,
you have to tell me what it was after the stream.
Oh yeah. He went into tournaments, like he would win best sports or do well in best sports so often just because he didn't care. He wanted to turn up, he wanted to shout at people friendly and have fun, and he didn't care if you smashed him because he just wanted to go out for a weekend away and play toy soldiers because that was his hobby.
Yep.
And didn't give a damn if he won or not.
Jamie is one of the nicest guys ever. He's currently running like a skirmish, like Malifaux sort of league.
Yes, he was very into Malifaux.
Yeah. But
yeah, Jamie's great. And yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, if for your first event, like I'm trying to, my friend Roman is hopefully going to come down to one of the Seattle ones with me.
He's the vampire player. He's the Soulblight player.
Yes, and Ogres, yeah. He's the one who, it was a kind of a deal where I would play Underworlds and he would play Age of
Oh, cool.
Because he was an X-Wing player and he didn't like the new version of X-Wing. And he saw the AoS community at Kippers 2021, and he was kind of like, wow, that looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Like, not necessarily, it's a silly dice game, because that's the problem with AoS. It's like, yeah, it's a semi-balanced game in a lot of ways, but it's still a dumb dice game at the end of the day. Like, your bad luck can just go terrible. But yeah, it's one of those things where you just go and have fun. Like, it's a really good community, good laughs. Like, I've been to three or four tournaments now in the Pacific Northwest and had a really good time with people. And you just meet people and you like make new friends and contacts on Twitter and Discords and stuff, and you're chatting away, and it's just like a really, it's good. It's good for the soul, and like you expand your knowledge by playing against people. Yeah, you're probably gonna lose games, but you know what? It's a good way of learning is losing.
Yep, exactly. And it's a dice game, so you know, don't feel too bad.
We have a comment.
Yes,
Romulan
Dog. He actually left some really nice comments in the last video. But he says he's got a Skaven Civil War game tomorrow. I love Civil War Skaven games. Like I think I'm the only. This is actually, I'm really proud of this. Okay, I think I'm the only channel to ever do Skaven versus Skaven as a battle report. Now. There's a very good reason not to do this, because like generally when you're putting out a battle report, you're trying to get as many people to watch it as possible. So if you have Skaven, for example, versus Stormcast Eternals, then the people who like Skaven watch for Skaven, and the people who like Stormcast Eternals watch for Stormcast Eternals. So you're combining both of those audience together, right? But when you do Skaven Civil War, you're only getting the Skaven people. But I'm like, I don't care. This is awesome. And that's why I'm doing it.
Skaven are a different type of fan base. Like if you looked at the number of comments that was just from the Doors of Cain Skaven video, none of them were comments about, yeah, Doors of Cain. It was all, die, yes, Skaven.
It's all Skaven, yes. Yeah, like Felix and like Romulan Dog and like a bunch of other people are just like, I come for Skaven. Like that's what they come for, and I appreciate it. Yeah, like you can clearly so originally I was thinking about calling this channel like Gracier Gaming, Warpstone Gaming, like all these other very Skaven themed things.
Yeah, I love its Warp Dice as well.
Yes. Well, so Warp Dice, Warp Dice, for those who don't know, is our local group. How would you describe it? Like, I'm one of the founders, but it
is a conglomeration of mostly North Vancouver gamers.
North Vancouver. There's a lot of us. Yeah.
That obviously now people are spread out from that and stuff, but it's kind of like there was like a competitive / semi-competitive vibe.
Yep.
Then obviously COVID happened, so a lot of people are still starting to get back in. Well, I think we're going to have a good turnout of Warp Dice at Kippers.
Yeah, that's our local group. It was started around, because I actually mentioned this thing. Because I used to be really into fighting games like Street Fighter and Guilty Gear and that sort of thing. And so I mentioned to Darren, he's like, if anyone, he's the main founder of our group, Warp Dice, and I said to him, like, the reason that Japanese people are so good at fighting games is because their communities are so strong. They teach each other everything about what they can do with their character, and they do that for each other, and it's just steel versus sharpened steel over and over again until they become some of the best in the world. And so when I mentioned that, he said, like, that's a great idea to form around a club. So that's sort of the idea of it. But yeah, I came up with Warp Dice just because I wanted it to sound. I didn't want it to be like too on the nose for anything, but yeah. So anyway, that's the name of our local group, and Saga of Dice was originally going to be called something much more Skaven-y, but I didn't want to get in trouble by Games Workshop because they were just going through things with like some YouTube channels, and it was getting really dicey, and I was just like, I don't want to put anything that they can, you know what I mean?
Really dicey.
They can't come after me for a rat. You know what I mean? He's not eating warpstone. He's eating green crystals that have a 6 and a 7 on them. It's just no. It's random. It means nothing. But it does. Like, in actual fact, my channel is essentially dedicated to Skaven. So I really love all the, I appreciate all the Skaven love. I could honestly bring them every time, but I do have limits. So yeah. But we'll see. I don't know what I'm bringing yet. I'm going to ask the Discord people, the Patreons, and we'll see. It might be Skaven again. It might be. And I don't really care what I bring. Like, I'm pretty easygoing, so yeah, it should be fun. But yeah, is there anything else we were going to mention?
No, I think that's about it for this one.
Cool. Okay. Well,
so that hour and 20 minutes nearly. Yeah, that's good.
That's pretty good for me. Like, I don't know about you, Dale, but I'm quite loquacious, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's the problem you have with a lot of podcasts is usually like 60 to 90 minutes is a good length because you don't want to be too long because people lose interest. So
it's true, unless they're doing. Oh, we did forget one thing. So I'm sorry, it's at the end of the video. We were gonna like kind of come up with recommendations and stuff like that. I think you wanted to recommend Rerolling Ones, Dale.
Yeah, I'm also going to do two shout outs for 2 events coming up.
Oh, okay.
So one, obviously Kippers.
Yes.
Which is
Kippers
in Nanaimo.
In Nanaimo on Vancouver Island. Here in
yeah, and that's not until October, so we'll talk about more closer to the time. We may even get Andy on to talk about the event.
Yeah.
So that's on the 15th and 16th of October.
We can maybe even do like a list review show or something fun.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
totally. Yeah, it'll be good to do like some breakdowns and stuff.
Yeah.
We've also got the next one I'm going to is Emerald City Open Electric Boogaloo, which
Cool.
Bear is co-organizing, I think, or promoting.
Cool.
So that's in Puyallup, Washington, so not far from Tacoma and Seattle.
Wait,
So
sorry,
that's
where is it? Where is it?
Puyallup, Puyallup.
Oh.
Puyallup.
Oh.
Puyallup.
Oh, Puyallup. Yes, sorry.
I live in Puyallup. I'm British. I don't know what it is.
Well, we get like, so growing up here, when we were watching like the news and the weather and everything, we get all of their news and weather.
Yeah.
So like we hear all about the Seattle Seahawks and the Mariners and everything else like that. So most British Columbians do actually know Washington geography fairly well, but I didn't. Yes, Puyallup sounds like an exercise.
So they're the last weekend in next month in August. So that'll be kind of my first tournament of this edition.
Yep.
So I'm looking forward to it. So we can talk more about that when lists come up and stuff like that. But yeah,
that sounds good. So
that's my kind of 2 things. And check out Rerolling Ones because they're a local, our neighbors in America, and they're a good group of guys, and they've just had a team change. So yeah, check them out.
They did a video on it, talking about the new members, passing of the guard. Brent's going to take a back seat. And it's all very cool, and I wish them the best. I was going to bring up, and I'm sorry, but I didn't bring it up sooner. I meant to put it at the start, but anyway, AoS Coach did a fantastic review of the Skaven book with, and I forget his name, another really nice guy from Australia, and him and Dan Brewer, like some of the best Skaven players, apparently are. Wait a minute. Is that why? Because they're down under and the Skaven live. Is that why? Am I secretly Australian? I might be, because no one loves those rats more than
Was
I
it
do.
with Joel Graham?
I think
That's his first thoughts on the new Skaven book.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
that's him. I'm sorry, I'm blanking. I'm on the spot. Camera's on. My brain goes out. It was really good though. He was really on the ball for a lot of stuff. Like, and he pointed out I was really down on the Skaven grand strategies because I didn't read them carefully enough, like you or whatever. Or like someone else, like many other people. I didn't see the or.
Yeah.
So it's Master Clan or Scryer or Eshin, whatever, this, that, and the other. So that seems much more doable now. Like it actually seems it's not too strong though. Like I kind of feel like grand strategies like for killing like their Galatian veterans might be better. But anyway, I'm kind of excited. I might try it out tomorrow against Eric.
I like AOS. I've watched AOS Coach's format.
I've been watching him from the beginning. From the very beginning.
How he does the when like a new army book comes out, especially if like it's a box set, he usually puts up the new scroll and then he'll put what the differences are from the old scroll, which is really nice. Instead of like doing a comparison and stuff, it's like just very clear and concise to be like, this is what they are, this is what's changed, now you know, and it's like really nice, and he separates the kind of like spells, artifacts, grand strategies and stuff from the actual scrolls.
Yeah.
So they're like nice, easy to condense episodes. And yeah, they're good. He's a good guy.
He's fantastic. There used to be a guy called Mitch, MC1 Gamer, who in AOS 1 would do a similar kind of thing. He would bring on like a kind of expert, like, Vince, or he had like a bunch of different people who were like very into one particular army, and they would go over stuff, and he stopped making content, unfortunately. But AOS Coach took over in style. He almost, like, I don't think I've ever had he's ever had a guest on that I wasn't just like, wow, this person is on the ball. So, yeah, fantastic.
He's got, I know he's got Peter and Marcella on for Daughters of Cain soon.
Oh, cool.
Still disappointed. He cut me out. Still disappointed.
Talk to Dale.
That's fine. That's fine, Anthony. That's fine. Be like that.
I asked him if I could come on like before I started the channel for Skaven, and he was just like, okay, message me like super far in advance, and I was just like, oh man, like, yeah. But
no, they're two good people. So Peter is from Europe, and he's a solid Daughters of Cain player, and Marcella as well is doing really well in the US. Little Marathi on Twitter. Is doing really well with Daughters of Cain in her region as well.
Yeah.
So one of the big things as well from Marcella too is she's one of I think there's 2 or 3 female Daughters of Cain players that do very well, and it's kind of like there's been some good positivity attention to it recently, where there's like younger female players that are seeing these people on Twitter and stuff through their parents' Instagram or Twitter or stuff like that, and it's like, wow, I can play this too. I can be like, I could be a female player and play in tournaments as well, because AOS and Warhammer is like there's a lot of guys that play it, but it's nice to see the encouragement and reinforcement of a lot of female players that are doing especially well, and it's good. It's good for the scene. It's good to encourage people and like the next generation that, hey, look, you easily can do the same as other people. You can be in the top rank. Like one of the top Daughters of Cain player, I can't remember where she's from, but from Europe, it's like smashes the local scene.
That's awesome.
And it's nice to have. Because we have a number in BC.
We have 2 female players in our club, and they've both won prizes. Natasha won Best Painting at LVO, which is a big deal. Like that's huge. And Veronica won Sportsmanship at Kippers, I want to say. I think it was at Kippers. And I was giving her a hard time for that, because that is my want.
You got to come to Kippers then.
No, I mean, I was giving her a hard time because Veronica is a delightful psychopath. that is all about killing things. She is like Daughters of Cain, like reborn into a soul.
We played Soulbound with her, and she was playing the Witcher.
I played a few RPGs.
She just ran in and stabbed everyone.
That's all
we're just like at the back going, yeah, okay, let's talk to the people. No, they're already dead.
Yeah, and she played like a what do you call it? Like a what do you call it? Like in it was the 40K RPG, Blood and Glory or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's this like a captain. What do you call it in the guard? I forget what they're called. It's not called
a commissar.
Commissar. Yeah, she played a commissar,
okay.
And like one of the first things she did was took her her chainsword and like cut a table in half. Yeah, she's great. Hopefully, we're gonna see her again. She's gonna be playing. I think she's gonna be playing some Soulblight.
I think she's looking at coming to Kippers because I think her, Darren, and Aussie Dan are looking at coming as well.
Yep.
But he's just got. I think she's just got to check. They may be getting a new puppy, so if they are, she won't be coming. But if they don't, they will be coming. So.
That's awesome. I hope she goes.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah.
But thanks to everyone for watching.
Yeah.
Feel free to please leave a comment about, anything you want us to bring up. We're happy to bring up
anything you want us to promote, anything you want to comment about, or anything you'd like us to talk about for next week. If not, we will be looking at something that we're going to chat about.
Yeah, we'll just chat about something else, kind of random. Maybe the GHB, maybe Skaven. We'll have to see. But yeah, thanks again for everyone.